First of all, breathe. I'm here, listening to you.
What if today I just want to fall apart? What if, for a moment, I don't want to hold the world? Is it allowed to get tired? Would anyone notice the weight I carry in silence? It has a silent strength that is more tiring than any battle. It's about pretending that everything is fine. It's about being a shelter when everything inside you just wants to rest. Do you feel that way too? That emptiness that appears when no one needs you? For a moment, this desire to disappear just to see if anyone would notice your absence? Always be the strong one, the one who listens, the one who supports, the one who smiles, even when the chest screams. It's tiring. It's so tiring. And the hardest part isn't even the effort. It's the guilt of thinking about stopping. It's this fear of disappointing, of not being able to cope, of letting someone down. But listen, not all pain screams loudly. Some only echo softly within us. And no matter how much you try to hide it, I know, I see. Your silence also needs to be heard. Your tiredness also deserves shelter. Come closer. Today, this voice is just for you. For that part of you that still hasn't had the courage to say, I can't take it anymore. Breathe. You're not alone in this. If this message has touched any corner of your silence, hold it close. There are a lot of strong people on the outside, crumbling on the inside, and that's why this topic matters so much. Because no one should carry the world alone. Leave your support. Here, your like shows that this kind of conversation needs to happen. And if this voice welcomed you, subscribe. There is more shelter waiting for you. There are days when just getting out of bed is a secret battle. You wake up, and before you even open your eyes, you feel the weight of the entire world resting on your chest. It's not physical, it's emotional, silent, almost invisible, but as real as the breath you feel when you're exhausted. And then you put on a smile, swallow your tears. Go do what needs to be done, because being a support system for others has become the role you've learned to play. But no one teaches you how to sustain that role when the stage inside you is crumbling. Being strong is tiring. It's tiring to deal with everything when your heart is already silently asking for help. It's tiring to carry the weight of other people's problems, while your own accumulate in a hidden corner of your soul. And the cruelest thing is that often no one notices. You're that person everyone turns to when their world falls apart. But what happens when your world cracks? Who holds your hand? The truth is that there is a type of tiredness that does not go away with physical rest. It's a weariness of the soul, to pretend that everything is fine, to smile so as not to worry anyone, to hold on a little longer because you are strong. But no one realizes that even the strong fall in silence, in the bathroom, on the pillow, on the way home. Maybe you've even learned that crying is a sign of weakness, that stopping is wasting time, that asking for help is uncomfortable. But what if I told you that all of this is just armor, that behind this strength, there is a soul that just wants to be held? How many times have you thought about disappearing for just one day, so that you don't need to be an example, a reference, a support? How many times have you kept quiet so as not to disappoint? This constant pressure to be well, to be able to cope, to not fail. It slowly consumes your joy, your lightness, your will to continue. And when you finally have a moment to breathe, you feel guilty about resting. Guilt for not producing, guilt for not being there for others. But look, you weren't born to be invincible. You also have the right to be tired, to pause, to ask for help, of not being well. But the world forgets about that. People get used to your strength, and they forget that it also has a limit. You know that moment when everything inside you screams for silence? That second when the desire to disappear is greater than the desire to keep pretending? That's where this invisible wound lives. It is in this hidden space that your deepest tiredness, the one that no one sees, but that you feel every day. And even with all this, you continue. Keep giving yourself, keep trying, keep holding on to what no one sees. But today, I just want you to know, sometimes silence also cries. And this crying is so deep that it can't even reveal its tears. It hides behind tired looks, automatic responses, smiles that seem genuine but ultimately exist only to shield you from questions you wouldn't have the strength to answer. It's in this silent space that the weight of invisible wounds resides. Wounds that don't bleed, but that hurt. Wounds that no one notices, but that you feel with every heartbeat. And do you know what hurts the most? Having to swallow this alone, as if it were an obligation to always be strong, always present, always whole. Have you ever noticed how deafening emptiness can be? It's like an echo inside your chest. The more you try to convince yourself you're okay, the louder the echo screams inside, reminding you that you're not. This silence isn't peace. It's a muffled scream. It's your body asking for rest, asking for shelter, asking for someone to say, "I see you." And maybe no one has said it yet, but you deserve to be seen. You deserve to be welcomed. You deserve a place where you don't have to carry everything alone, because even the strongest heart needs rest between beats. Even the most resilient soul cries out for shelter when the inner storm rages unabated. The problem is that the world has romanticized strength, as if always being well were the only way to be worthy of respect, as if admitting fragility were a mistake, but it's not. Being fragile is also human. Being fragile is also strength, because it requires the courage to stop pretending. And I know, you've held so much silence that sometimes you don't even remember what it's like to let it out. You've gotten used to carrying pain you've never spoken aloud. You've gotten used to being the embrace of others, even when your body begged for one of your own. It's unfair, I know, but here, now, there's no pressure. There's space. This space is yours. This video is yours. These words are a shelter from your exhaustion. So tell me, what is the silence you carry inside? Which part of this echo speaks loudest in your heart? Write in the comments, because your voice deserves to be heard. And who knows, by speaking, you might discover that there are other weary hearts that need to know they are not alone. Breathe. Let this moment be yours. There's no rush here, no judgment, just the welcome of knowing that even in the silence, you still matter. You're not exaggerating. I know sometimes it seems like all you feel is drama or that you're being too sensitive. But no, that's not it. Being strong all the time is tiring. It's tiring because it demands energy that isn't infinite. It's tiring because it places you in a position of perfection that no human heart can sustain forever. And, as much as the world expects this constancy, this flawless resilience, from you, your body and soul scream silently, begging for a break. It's tiring to smile on the outside and fall apart on the inside. It's a painful theater because you laugh, talk, help, work, solve problems. But deep down, when you close the bedroom door, the weight comes back. The pillow knows the tears no one else sees. The bathroom has witnessed muffled meltdowns, the kind where you need to pull yourself together quickly to avoid arousing suspicion. It's like carrying an internal storm in a body that insists on looking sunny. It's exhausting to handle everything when your heart has been through so. When inside you there are marks, scars, memories that still hurt, but which world ignores because you hold on. No one asks how you really are. No one realizes how much your chest craves rest. It's as if they expect you to be an unshakable fortress, when in reality you just want to be seen as human. Maybe no one notices, but I see it. I see how much you've been holding on to alone. I see the invisible wounds you hide behind silence. I see how much you've forced yourself to be a shelter when all you needed. And no, this isn't weakness. This is the weight of carrying too much. It's the price of always putting yourself last so as not to disappoint anyone. You've been holding on too much. more than any heart should bear. And I know deep down you just wish someone would say, "It's okay to let go now. It's okay to rest." Because even the most admired strength needs a hug. Even everyone's support needs to be supported. You may never have heard this, but you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be available all the time. You don't have to put on a strong front when all you feel is crying. You can be vulnerable. You can be human. And most importantly, you can quit without guilt. I know there's fear inside, fear of disappointment, fear of losing people, fear of showing fragility. But I want you to know that this fear doesn't define you. It only shows how much you've given, how much you've carried, how much you still care. Fear reveals care, not weakness. And even if no one has noticed until now, I do. I see you. I see your silent struggle. I see your strength disguised as normality. I see the weight you don't speak of. And in this moment, I want you to feel that you are not invisible, because your pain is legitimate, your exhaustion is real, and your silence also deserves to be embraced. But being strong is also knowing when to rest. True strength isn't in never falling, but in having the courage to admit when your body and soul can no longer bear the weight. The world has become accustomed to looking at you as if you were unbreakable. But the truth is that no one is born to carry. Too much strength without pause becomes an invisible wound. It becomes emptiness. It becomes silence, screaming inside. And you don't have to wait until you reach your limit to allow yourself to stop. Asking for a hug isn't weakness, it's humanity. The heart wasn't made just to endure, but also to feel. There's greatness in allowing yourself to be cared for. There's beauty in trusting your own exhaustion in other hands. You don't have to always be the one providing support. You too have the right to a hug, to shelter. There's no shame in that. The real mistake is believing you need to constantly prove you're okay. Being fragile for a moment doesn't erase everything you've overcome. Your struggles continue to be struggles. Your steps continue to be steps. Your scars continue to show courage. Pausing doesn't diminish anything you've built. On the contrary, it shows that within your story lies the maturity to recognize limits. And only those who recognize their own limits can navigate life without losing themselves. You can stop, breathe, embrace yourself. You can close your eyes and let silence be a shelter, not a prison. You can say, "I can't take it anymore," without fear of being seen as less. Because even those who inspire the world most also cry in the dark. Even those who lift the masses must, at some point, sit on the ground and simply exist. Here. Your pause is welcome. This space is to remind you that you don't always have to run. You don't always have to smile. You don't always have to be strong. Sometimes all your heart asks for is silence, a breath of hope, someone saying, "I understand." And here you find that. Life isn't a race where the winner is the one who never stumbles. Life is a path full of necessary pauses. Each pause is a breath. Each breath is strength renewing itself. Each silence is a disguised embrace. And this time, you give yourself isn't a waste. It's an investment, because after the pause, your strength returns differently, lighter, truer, more yours. You don't have to fight fatigue as if it were an enemy. It didn't come to punish you, it came to warn you. It came to whisper that it's time to take care of yourself before taking care of the world. It came to show you that even the strongest heart needs rest between beats, and you deserve it. So breathe. Let these words find your silence. Allow yourself to believe that life doesn't demand perfection, just presence. You don't need to prove anything now. You just need to exist as you are, without masks, without demands. And while the world insists on asking more of you, here, I only ask that you allow yourself to carry less weight, that you embrace your own tired body, that you rest without guilt. So today, don't fight your fatigue. Don't turn it into an enemy. Don't try to suffocate it. Don't blame yourself for feeling Fatigue isn't a sign of weakness, it's just your body and soul asking for a break after fighting for so long in silence. It comes as a warning, like a whisper saying, "Hey, I've had enough. Now it's time to rest." And when you try to ignore this request, the pain increases, the invisible wound grows, and your soul slowly fades away. Embrace it tenderly. Embrace this weight like a tired child who just wants to be held. No need to push it away. No need to force fake smiles. No need to prove anything to anyone. The embrace you give your own weariness is the first step toward healing the void left by silence. It's in this embrace that hope begins to be reborn. It's in this pause that strength is born again. Strength returns, but the body needs shelter first. No storm lasts forever, but every storm requires a safe place to pass through. And that safe place can be here, in these words, in this silence that now welcomes you. You allow yourself to rest as if you were truly allowing yourself to exist. You allow yourself to stop without guilt. You allow yourself to recognize that even the strongest need to close their eyes and just breathe. Come back here when your chest tightens. This voice awaits you. This space is your shelter, your lap, your necessary respite. Whenever the silence weighs too heavily, remember there's a corner where you can rest without judgment, without masks, without the obligation to be strong all the time. Here, your fragility is welcome. Your pain is heard. Your soul finds rest. And while the world demands that you always be greater than your failures, I just want to remind you of something simple. You don't have to win today. You don't have to handle everything right now. You don't have to hold the world together when you can barely hold yourself. Today, all you need is to embrace your weary heart and let it breathe. So, when you feel the weight is too much, come back here. When the silence screams too loudly, come back here. When you don't know how to go on, come back here. This voice doesn't disappear. This space doesn't close. This shelter remains open. Because your heart deserves rest, and your silence deserves to echo in a safe place. And if this message found you exactly when you needed it most, cherish it. Write in the comments which part truly touched your heart. Your words could be the echo another weary heart needs to hear. Share this pause with those who also struggle in silence. Extend this hug, because sometimes all someone needs to not give up is to know they're not alone in this journey. Share this message with anyone who also needs to stop without feeling guilty, because perhaps someone very close to you is experiencing this same silent struggle, the one no one sees, but which corrodes. How many people walk around smiling on the outside while silently screaming inside? How many continue to be everyone's support but never find a place to rest? Sometimes, the simple gesture of sharing a word can become an unexpected refuge for a weary heart. Don't underestimate the power of a whisper that arrives at just the right time. This message can be a breath of fresh air for someone who no longer believed they were allowed to pause. It can be the reminder a friend needs to understand that it's okay to feel fragile. It can be the reminder a loved one keeps to themselves, like a silent hug that echoes through the heaviest days. When you share this, you're not just sharing a video, you're multiplying hope. And right here in the comments, what part of the video embraced you today? Don't keep what resonated within you to yourself. Sometimes your words can be the bridge that connects your silence to the silence of someone else who also needs to feel less alone. Each comment here becomes a piece of collective shelter, a space where voices that would normally be silenced finally find resonance. Your outburst may touch someone who would never have the courage to write. Your sentence may be the reflection another heart needed to not give up. When you comment, you not only speak to those on this side, but you also become a voice of support for all who come here seeking comfort. It's a simple yet powerful gesture, because each written word becomes a visible embrace amid so many invisible wounds. And it doesn't matter if what you have to say seems small. Small words have healed giant silences. The important thing is to let your voice be heard because it matters, too. Here, no one is invisible. Every story, every confession, every line that emerges in the comments helps remind us that this struggle is not a solitary one. So, leave your mark here. Tell us which passage touched your heart, which phrase brought tears to your eyes, which part made you breath and think, this is about me. This space is for you. It's for your pain, your strength, your pause. And when you speak, you pave the way for others to feel. And while the world insists on silencing weaknesses, together we create a shelter where every word is heard with care. Because hope grows when it's shared. And sometimes, the simple fact that someone reads your comment can save the day for another weary heart. And while this pause finds shelter in your heart, I want to leave a seed for our next encounter. There are times when fatigue isn't just physical, but also of identity. It's when you look within and can no longer see yourself. When the reflection seems distant from what it once was. In the next video, we'll walk together through this question that echoes in so many silences. What if I don't recognize myself anymore? Keep this thought close to your heart. Your story still has many pages to be read, and I want to be with you through each one of them.